Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another versus matchup type of video. I've got a good one for you guys today. We're going to be talking about who would win between the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly versus Goku at Super Saiyan Level 3. So this is a heavily debated type of matchup here between two legendary Dragon Ball Z characters that we've never seen. Of course, we couldn't because based on the time that was selected for the movie, which was Dragon Ball Z Movie 8, the Legendary Super Saiyan for Broly. And yes, some people call him Broly. I prefer the pronunciation Broly, but in the movie he's called Broly, so I'm going to try to refer to him as Broly, his pronunciation for his name, even though I prefer Broly. I think it sounds better. But anyway, for Broly, basically, I'll put a link in the description to their power levels so you guys can compare their power levels on the wiki. But essentially, from that movie, in his Legendary Super Saiyan form versus Goku Super Saiyan Level 3, who would win in that type of matchup? Now, this is a tough one because at first people would probably say, well, Super Saiyan 3 is way more powerful than Broly is. Not correct, actually. If you look at the wiki, Broly's power level is actually at 1.4 billion. Now, the reason for that is because he's not the same as other Saiyans. He was born with a power level of 10,000 as a baby, and Goku was like what, like 1 or 2, something like that. And essentially, when he turns Super Saiyan into his Super Saiyan form, which has kind of that yellow with the green tint, which is different, he's not in the same kind of a range as a regular Saiyan when they turn Super Saiyan. It's a different form. It's referred to as like LSSJ, or Legendary Super Saiyan form. It's not the same as Vegeta's USSJ, which is when he becomes Super Vegeta, which is where he just becomes like super beefy and just humongous, and his muscles all pump out and everything like that, which some people compare Broly to, but he's not. He's also not equivalent to Super Saiyan Level 2. His power level is much higher than that. And Goku's Super Saiyan Level 3 form, as stated on the wiki, referred to from the manga, is actually 1.2 billion. So in fact, by power level, Broly actually has a higher power level than Super Saiyan Level 3 Goku by 0.2 billion. Now, 0.2 billion would be 200 million, right? Yep, it would be. So 200 million is a huge amount over 9,000, and we're talking about, back in the early days of the series, and we're talking about 200 million here in terms of differences, right? So that is a substantial difference, but the thing is we're talking about 1.2 billion versus 1.4 billion. So the difference between the two is like 14%, roughly, let's round it, 14%. Broly is 14% stronger than Goku, but that said, Goku should be strong enough at Super Saiyan Level 3 to damage Broly, to at least inflict some kind of, his punches, his energy blasts, his techniques, because their power level is closer than it would be when he's at like Super Saiyan Level 1 or even Level 2. He should be able to hurt Broly. He should be able to actually put some hurt on him, rather than when Super Saiyan Level 1, for example, Vegeta or somebody like that punches Broly in the chin, he smiles at him because it's not enough power. His power level it's not high enough to throw a punch with enough force to even phase Broly. Super Saiyan Level 3 Goku would be able to do that. He would be able to go at Broly and let him know. I'm talking about, for example, the one we saw resurrected, for the day against Fat Buu or Kid Buu too. Either one really is around the same level. So let's give Broly a bit of an advantage in terms of power level, but only by 0.2 billion, 1.4 versus 1.2. So not so much as to where Goku has no chance. Super Saiyan Level 1 Goku has no chance against Broly because his power level is just way too high. So with that said, How would this go down? How would it go? If you guys have seen movie 8, if you've seen the Broly Legendary Super Saiyan movie, you'll know that the team didn't really do that well against him at the start. You know, he was mainly toying with him. They couldn't even damage him. They couldn't even do anything to him. He seemed to be kind of invulnerable, so to speak, where when they would hit him, they would, you know, shoot a blast at him. He doesn't even block it. He doesn't even care. Against Super Saiyan Level 3 Goku, he would have to. He would have to block it. He would have to, you know, honor that attack. He wouldn't be able to just walk right through it and act like nothing ever happened. So that said, for me, since the power levels are closer, if you're just going by power level, yeah, Broly's going to win. But here's the thing. Goku at that point had been training his entire life as a martial artist. Broly never. Broly, in terms of what the wiki would say, in terms of what you can find online, he was never really trained all that much, or he never really trained all that much. There wasn't really anybody that he could, you know, fight against to develop those kind of skills at that kind of a level. He never went up against a Frieza or up against, you know, other Saiyans such as Vegeta, or, you know, in training and trained in the afterlife and did all these things to really perfect. I mean, he may have had some training, but nothing close to what Goku has had, especially to the point where he goes into, you know, in the afterlife, he's still training under King Kai and under all these different, masters. Broly never had that. He never really had that in terms of what we know. I mean, he may have had a little bit of training, you know, because he knows how to shoot an energy blast. He knows how to punch, obviously, and, you know, simple things. But in terms of kind of that more advanced level, Broly, to me seems more of like a character that is built on sheer power. You know, it's the sheer power, the sheer force, the size, the strength, everything like that is his fighting style. He's just a monster, basically. He's like a Dragon Ball Z version of the Hulk. He's just going to destroy everything. And he's not, his rage, you know, even when he transforms, he's yells and everything. It just consumes him. He's not really focused on, you know, technique and on staying cool in the battle and pulling the right move or countering or block. He doesn't even block anything, you know, and that could be because he didn't sense it as you know, enough of a threat. But I would say, based on Goku's experience, based on all of his techniques, based on everything he's had, you know, kind of over the long run to test his skills, when Broly faces against Super Saiyan Level 3 Goku, even if he can outpower him a bit, he's got more power, you know, he's stronger, he'd be able to overpower him with regards to that. If you're talking about, you know, pure, brute, senseless force at a little bit of a higher power level versus a master that has trained their entire lives, I would have to go with the technique, the one with the technique, because they're close enough that technique should be able to surpass that little bit, 14% extra strength. So in this one, for me anyway, I conclude that based on Goku's experience, based on his fighting prowess, his martial arts, and all of his different techniques that he has, so many, that he would be able to, at Super Saiyan Level 3, defeat Broly. But I don't think it would be easy. I think he would have to exploit Broly's weaknesses of not having enough experience fighting someone at that kind of a level and use his techniques to his advantage. But I do think he would be able to defeat Broly at Super Saiyan Level 3. Anything before that, no. It'd be too much of a gap. The power level wouldn't be close enough. Super Saiyan Level 2, Level 1, you know, Broly would be able to beat him without too much trouble. So those are kind of my thoughts on the matchup. I think it's a good one. I think it makes a lot of sense because they're close and because we've never seen it. So if you guys have any other Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball related matchups for things that, you know, you're kind of wondering who would win in this type of situation, send me a private message so I can write them down and I can kind of I like doing these. It's a lot of fun for me and kind of thinking about who would win. I can research it a bit. I can find different information and kind of come up with what I think would happen if it was to actually go down in the series and who would actually win. In this case, it's Super Saiyan Level 3 Goku. So send me your video requests if you guys have more for versus matchups. Doesn't necessarily have to be Dragon Ball Z, but I'm looking to do a few more because I love Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, if you guys like the video, please like it below. If you want to help support the channel, share it, favorite it, and I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one. This is Trev, as always, saying peace.